Well, I can tell you one thing. I'm definitely not streaming on flipping Facebook. For some reason, Facebook is still giving me that error. And I tried it on my mobile because it says, oh, no, you
Yeah.
should be able to live stream on your mobile. So I got on my mobile and I tried, no, sorry, you don't have a presence on Facebook. You can't. I'm like, dude, I'm like on my account that's been here for 4 years. But you know what I think it is? I think I've been shadow banned on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know why? Can you tell me why? Or possibly why? Besides the F bombs every now and again. No? Coming in
It's
once,
not
coming
my
in twice.
it's not my secret
MIA affiliation, no. No. I think it's because I've been. Oh, wait. My green screen is. Look at that. My green screen works, eh? My vape is green. I think it's. I've been vaping.
transparent for me.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm in one of those moods. I think it's because I've been vaping on the live broadcast, and I think they've.
Oh, I see.
I think they've like, that's against our community guidelines.
Vaping
Well,
is offensive then.
I don't make this available to children under the age of 18. It's my OnlyFans
I believe
account.
there's isn't there age restriction on this stream?
I don't know. Who cares?
That might help the ratings if we actually put an age restriction on it.
Well, on YouTube, I say it's not for kids. Right.
Okay.
Oh, what's classified as a kid? What's classified
No,
as
it
an
is.
adult? Depends which country you come from. Okay, let's talk about talking about risque stuff. Let's talk about P. Diddy, Sean Combs. Do you
What's
know
he done?
anything? Don't you know? Like the
No,
social media is blowing up.
no, mate.
Yeah.
What's he done?
Let's just say Jeffrey Epstein's got nothing on him. Yeah. So what's happened? Yeah. So what's happened is some people have been coming out of the woodwork and saying he's been a naughty boy. So apparently, what he does is he throws these parties at his house, and then he invites everyone.
Are we talking about Lester?
No, we're talking about P Diddy, Sean Combs, and then he's got cameras in all their bedrooms and all the rooms, and then he spikes their drinks and then catches them doing naughty things and then holds that against them, right? Yeah. So apparently Usher was sucked into this when he was a minor. So was Justin Bieber. Apparently Beyonce's in there. Jay-Z's there. Apparently Denzel Washington was invited to one of his parties and he was there like for a short while and decided, no, this is not for him. And he left and never went back again. Yeah, I didn't even know about it until someone at work mentioned it to me, and then I just happened to go on TikTok and I went down the rabbit hole. So yeah,
So he's a nasty piece of work.
Well, alleged. Let's not get banned for accusing someone of doing something.
If the weekend KRAK gets sued by P Diddy?
That will help the ratings.
Well, first he's got to find me on YouTube, dude. He ain't gonna find me on YouTube.
It's not hard, man.
You
These search
know,
engines are a lot more powerful than you think.
You never know.
Like he's gonna worry about me. There are plenty of other people that are on TikTok going, he's a naughty boy. Yeah. So anyway, so that's the news. We don't know what's happening. And other news.
Are you going to come? It's just you coming out the woodwork to say you went to a P Diddy party.
No. I wasn't. Like I said, he doesn't even know I exist. So there's no.
That's your story.
That's a true story.
It's all feasible until proven differently.
Yeah. Well, you find a video of me there at P Diddy's ting ting and breakout party or whatever it's called. Yeah. And then other news. I see that. You see, it's coming up with that thing again.
OJ,
OJ.
orange juice has passed away. Yeah.
Orange juice. Now, why is it
It's
doing
like
that?
old age or what?
Yeah, he was like 70 something.
70.
70
74?
something. Yeah.
Okay.
Your default microphone has changed to Rodecaster Pro Stereo. Now it will be used. Thank you very much, Zoom. They must have a new feature in Zoom. Yeah, because every time I open Zoom, it's like Skype. It upgrades every week. But why?
Mm.
You need the upgrades, dude.
Yeah, well, I just hope they upgrade the time that they flip and allow us to talk.
No, they're not gonna do that. They're
no,
gonna make
no.
it shorter.
So there
Right.
were at least there's one new feature
What?
that if you try restart after 40 minutes, it's no, sorry, you got to wait 9 minutes before you can restart your
Are
meeting.
you serious?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what people want.
Yeah. They want a break from us. Yeah. So what other news is there that's worth talking about?
One.
Not a lot on my side.
Formula One.
Not much happening. Other than
the same old
Verstappen
results.
winning. Alonso has been re-signed with Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Carlos Sainz is shooting the lights out in his last year at Ferrari. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
I really hope that
All
he continues hitting the podium. It would be like sweet victory. And then let's see what Hamilton does when he gets there.
Do you think Hamilton's in it to win it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he's got something
Yeah.
to prove. I mean, he wants that 8th title. He keeps on 3 years down the line. He's
You
still
think so?
crying. He's still crying about it.
You don't think it's kind of for the show and for the advertisers and the promoters that he's kind of like it's a message for them, kind of that he's still in the game. But
Yeah.
personally, he's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna milk it as much as I can.
Well, what's he milking at the moment? He's not milking anything. He's making himself look like a tool.
He's still getting paid quite well,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. But I mean, why? But why are you going to put your reputation on the line just to get some money?
But what's
I don't think it's about money. He's
what's-
got enough money.
What's after that for
It's
him?
Listen, I mean,
it's
he's
about
got.
legend status.
Have you not, dude? Have you not seen that guy shoot?
Trying to think.
I'll send you a video
Okay.
of him shooting, like at the shooting range.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Is he bad?
Yeah.
No. Like, listen, that I reckon that I could compete in competitions, if nothing else. Yeah.
What is he shooting?
He was shooting handguns and assault rifles. Let's see if I can find it here.
Oh.
But then, obviously,
We can't broadcast it.
yeah, Lester won't see it. I'll have to send it to him afterwards. I sent
Yeah,
it
we've
to,
got strict
you
gun
know what I
rules
did
here.
is I sent it to my kids on TikTok.
Okay.
Oh well, I'll share it after. But seriously, the guy can shoot.
Is he decent?
Yeah, he's pretty decent.
Okay, cool.
Pretty
So he
decent.
can work as a security guard for ADT.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But I mean, the guy's got a fashion line. I mean, listen, I don't think that guy needs to be in Formula One.
I think it's about legend status. If you want to be a legend in the sport that people remember for years,
You gotta
he
die
wants to
on the
be
ring.
in that list.
You gotta die on the ring then.
Well, at the moment,
You
he's.
gotta die on the ring. You wanna have a legend status, you need to die.
I think he's looking for a different way to achieve legend status.
Okay.
Yeah, he's trying to get that 8th title.
No, but
Because
seriously,
at the moment, he's equal with Schumacher. If he wants to be the best Formula
Yeah,
One
yeah.
driver in time, he has to get the 8th title.
I think it's a bit more than that, though. Winning titles is one thing, obviously, but I think winning with different teams, it's a career thing.
well,
You're,
guys,
you're showing your caliber through different teams in different years and different circumstances.
do you think he's gonna
conditions.
be a coach or a manager on some stage?
Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna kind of run the team on some stage?
No, I don't think he's. What do you mean, as a team principal?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Will he start his own team?
Well, he had his own team in that
Oh, yes, he
off-road
did, didn't he?
X thing. But I
Yeah.
see they've stopped now. He's stopped that.
Okay, so what are his career like options in the F1 management, like
No, I
Formula
don't think
One
so.
kind of management structure.
No, I don't think he's. I don't think he's that
He
kind
could
of
be an
person.
advisor, and that's it.
No, I don't. I mean,
Yeah.
Mercedes have stopped listening to him in terms of
Okay.
inputs into the car. Even
Okay.
even before he was moving to Ferrari.
So he's pretty much like by kind of his team and everything is like, he's been put on a retirement status already.
Well, by his team. Well, I can tell you now, they're
No.
not sharing. They're not sharing developments with him, for sure.
Okay, but
because
he's
with him-
going to Ferrari, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, that's a huge IP risk.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly. So I don't know if it's retirement status, but I mean it's definitely on need to know basis, and you don't need to know.
You gotta love it when it happens. It's like such a corporate thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can go places which I shouldn't, so I won't.
Don't.
I don't. Yeah.
Well, guys, like, just I know we don't talk about politics, but I have to mention it. So you know the whole reviewing Algoa discussion is
No.
off the table.
Tell us more.
The Senate has voted
Yeah, and
off the table for the
and
foreseeable future.
what does that mean?
It means that at least from the US side, it's not going to be reviewed.
What's not going to be reviewed?
Algoa, the trade agreement.
Okay, well, tell us more about the Algo trade agreement.
Well, it gives us kind of preferential status in one way to the US market, and it gives US preferential access to the South African market
Okay,
when it comes to raw materials.
right. And what was the whole thing the other day about the sanctions that they were talking about?
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Okay. Good, I suppose. So,
But you know
I
what?
mean,
no.
it was a silly thing, though. I don't.
It's pretty much
Maybe it's because it's an election year and people are trying to make, noise, backings to get support in any which way they can. But the whole thing seems. I don't get the purpose of it. I didn't think it was ever going to get through, and I don't think. I don't think it was worth it. I'm trying to find the underlying cause, and why did they push it? I don't get it.
Look, our current government, right, like that we have, completely satisfies everyone.
Yeah.
Is
I
it?
suppose.
Except us.
Yeah, except the people that they're governing.
No, jokes aside. No, they're cool. They don't get us too much into trouble.
I don't think they could if they tried.
Well, don't you think there's a
They're so
certain-
busy. They're so busy embezzling money.
Well, don't you think? Well, come on. And it's like, do you think it doesn't happen there? I mean, it happens everywhere. It's just called different terms.
What do you mean in America?
Yeah. Do you think
Yeah.
Biden's hands are not like
Not dirty.
dipping in the cookie jar?
Yeah, I know. And the only problem is he can't remember
Allegedly.
which cookie jar to get the cookies out of.
Well,
Allegedly.
that's not his problem. Like, I'm pretty sure that his son was running the business side for like the last 10 years at least.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean the Bushes were also, embroiled in the whole oil thing.
Allegedly.
And makes you wonder about the invasion of Iraq.
It was about WMDs, according to Colin Powell.
Yeah, they still haven't found him though.
They need another 50 years, maybe. Maybe they'll find them.
Yeah. Talking about that, I see I need to go into this a little bit more. I mean, I have heard about this, but it's come up again, but this time specifically with a car manufacturer.
Yeah.
AKA Porsche.
AKA.
They are developing a eco fuel that has 99% less emissions than fossil fuels, and they're going to continue with like sort of internal combustion engines,
Mhm.
and they'll do electric cars, but they're not going to convert their sports cars to electric. They're rather going to go with this new engine technology. They're developing it in Chile.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So,
So what is the fuel from?
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't have enough time to go into the detail, but I just saw
it's
it.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting development. Well, on that note, right? I've seen another stat on one of the stats websites. China has officially overtaken US and Europe combined in terms of the EVs
Okay.
on the road.
Oh, right. Well, Elon Musk predicted that.
By quite a big margin, by like double.
Okay.
By double. And they're planning to have half of their vehicle fleet, like light vehicle fleet, as EVs by 2028.
That's cool.
Have they got the mineral resources then to all the batteries?
Well, going back to
Is there
Algoa.
now going to be a world such a spike in demand that nobody's got
Going back to
nobody's got
Algoa,
the required?
the reason why it's off the table is because China has been quite well represented in the African minerals industry over the last 20 years. And US obviously hasn't. So a lot of the copper, nickel, all the critical minerals are secured by the Chinese manufacturers. Like pretty much like 20, 30 years up front. So it's obviously the race that US wants to play kind of part in, and they need to be nice to people in certain places.
Sure.
No, okay. Saw this coming, but it's more now. What happens next? How far do they go? It's not going to slow down.
So you know what's also interesting is that China has been very strategic in not just acquiring access to mineral resources that they need for their production, right? They've also been strategic in acquiring access to hydrocarbons. There was a big deal that Qatar is one of the leading producers of LNG in the Middle East, right? And there was a discussion with the German government about, basically buying the LNG terminal and a production 25 years up front. So the German government was negotiating the prices, and the Chinese came in and said to the Qataris, "We'll give you what you want." And that's it. Bottom of the line. Give us your price, we'll pay it. Take the deal off the table with the Germans, it's ours. So there's a scramble for resources going on worldwide, like a big scramble. I mean, think about it this way. There's 100 million vehicles being sold worldwide, right? If you have to go EV, right, each vehicle, traditional combustion engine vehicle, has 9 kgs of copper and about 1 kg of nickel, give or take. If you go EV, you need 90 kgs of copper per vehicle.
Yep.
So 10 times more. Obviously, all the other minerals.
The thing is,
rares,
okay, so if there's a big charge to secure all the required anticipated minerals, fine. That drives the price. The consumers at some point are going to go, it's too expensive. It's going to be that point where all the minerals will be secured by a few. They won't be able to sell them on or use them because nobody wants to buy the product. It's too expensive.
Well, the issue is far more complex than basically just the supply and demand side. And the rationale is that copper is not just used to basically manufacture vehicles, right? It's used in a variety of electronic applications, giant infrastructure projects, etc., etc., etc. So it's not like you can say like oil. Oil is energy. Energy is used to move goods, right? Copper's got about 100 different applications from manufacturing to everything. So it's and that's the reason why a lot of the mineral resource companies are scrambling for copper for the next 50 years. They're literally scrambling.
What impact do you think
South
that
Africa
has
becomes the
on-
richest country in the world.
No, not South Africa. South Africa is not well endowed in copper, but we are the top
The mines.
PGM, Platinum Group Minerals producer, and we host about 80% of the world's reserves of platinum group metals. We host about 60% of the world's manganese reserves, 70% of the world's chrome, etc., etc. So, well, the other gigantic reserves of kind of critical metals and alloys are found with your current very, very far eastern neighbors, Russia. So the choices are hard.
I think it's an interesting one to watch. It's going to be slowly played out, though.
With copper, I think we
Fight for
come.
the world's minerals.
With copper, I think we're coming for a crunch, because all the gigantic copper mines are in South America, except for a couple big ones in Zambia and DRC, but they are like ultra high grade ones. There's a scramble going on. A lot of the South American copper mines are quite old. They still have a really decent kind of life of mine left, but I mean, nothing lasts forever. That's the nature of the extractive mineral industry. Everything eventually comes to an end.
Yeah. Yep. Until we find in the hidden mountains of Siberia huge resources that we've not encountered before.
Russian sanctions, dude.
So sorry, you can't buy them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. C'est la vie. Has to be DRC.
DRC becomes the richest country in the world.
No. It has to be DRC in terms of like making deals within the DRC. But DRC is extremely rich.
Black market.
DRC is extremely rich.
If you want copper, you go on the dark web and we'll sort you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
All right, how much time we got left, dude?
I don't
Before
know.
we get cut off. Must be like 5 minutes.
It doesn't say. Doesn't say. It'll come up with the thing that will tell us when we've got 10 minutes left. I'll let you know.
Really? Okay.
Oh, really? Yeah, they like to spring it on you.
But guys, like in the foreseeable future, would you buy an EV or a hydrogen fuel vehicle?
I think
I
would
will
go
stick to a
hydrogen.
bicycle instead of buying an EV.
A motor bicycle.
I rather pedal than
Okay,
buy an EV.
Let me rephrase this, right? In your lifetime,
Yeah.
and assume you live to 100, both,
Yeah.
right? Because the moderns of medical technology are amazing, right? Let's assume you live to 100. In your current lifetime, do you think you will have to get an EV or
No.
a hydrogen fuel vehicle?
No. Not me personally.
Lester's thinking hard.
Well, no, the trend is definitely there in Europe towards the electric vehicles. And the governments, not just the UK, across Europe have they've all been pushing for greener potentials, and they've all been making policies so that would stop the sale of diesel vehicles. I think they moved it out. It was 2030 where they were supposed to stop.
In UK,
Anyway,
it
the
was
trend is there. That
2035.
I think they've moved it to 2035 now. I think
Yeah.
it was 20 anyway. But the point is that the trend is there. And I'm buying a new house. This brand new house actually comes with EV charging points. It's a standard requirement now for every house that's built.
You see.
Yeah. But I won't own one.
That was the question though. Would you own one? Yeah,
No, I
no, I'm
won't.
old school.
I won't.
I want to have something. But I'm waiting to see what comes next. I think there's more to be done with hydrogen or something else. I think the cost of electricity is too high. And therefore, I don't really want an electric vehicle. And it's not as green as you think. With all the emissions that come from my diesel engine versus the emissions that come from the electric vehicle, obviously the diesel's not good. But what happens when I need to replace batteries? Where do these batteries go? It's not that green.
Running out of time.
Yeah, so we've got 10 minutes left. So my view is based on the prediction that in the future less people will actually own cars. In other words, you'll be using
Yeah.
services like No,
Car rental.
yeah, you'll be car, like Uber or whatever it is. I don't think I'll ever own a electric vehicle in my life. If I want to get around, I'll use a rideshare service like Uber. If they go hydrogen, they go hydrogen. If they go electric, they go electric. But I don't think I'll personally own one.
Okay. No, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to kind of like check, and like we need to remember this conversation because 10 years down the line,
Oh, it's recorded.
when
It's
the
on
poop
internet, it'll live
hits,
forever.
hits the
I forgot to put the record button.
when the poop hits the fan, right? I want you.
And the
I want
Pope hits the fan.
the poop hits the fan.
The proverbial pawpaw.
Yeah, hits the fan. I'd like, and somebody gets an EV here or a hydrogen vehicle. I'd like to
Hold you accountable.
No, I'd like us together and watch this episode, especially this particular moment.
I can tell you right now, I'll never own an EV vehicle, and there are a couple of reasons for that. One, I've already given that at the moment, theoretically, I don't have a car either. I use a car, but the moment that both my daughters have got driver's licenses, I effectively don't have a car anymore. I have motorcycles, so I don't need a car, and if I need a car for something, well, I'll just call an Uber. The other reason is the cost. I mean, what's the entry level electric vehicle costing at the moment?
In South Africa, it's a lot. I think in UK
Exactly.
it's less.
So
It's cheaper in UK.
Well, I don't live in
It's
the
cheaper,
UK.
but it's still not.
I don't.
It's not great. I mean, there's 50 odd different models of electric car you can buy now, easily. Every car manufacturer has
an
its
E-
own electric version.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the pricing is still not there.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll change.
Well,
so now there's still
not if you're saying that you're using raw materials that are going to become more and more scarce.
yeah.
The price it's going to be very difficult to keep the input price at least down on
Yeah.
those vehicles.
For sure, dude. Like, I don't see it getting cheaper. I think even with the current status quo, we don't have enough. Like, with the current status quo of ICE vehicles, if we're going to sell 100 million vehicles going forward, let's say for the next 10 years.
Yeah, but also remember, if people are going to be in the future buying less cars, right, that means that the supply and demand is not there. So in other words, that whole volume thing is going to come down of the cars that you sell. So the cars that are being sold that are now EVs that are already expensive are going to become more expensive because they're not going to be selling as many of them.
But, okay, I understand the logic, right? But you're kind of assuming that the population is static and it doesn't
Well, the
grow.
population around the world is starting to decline, actually.
No.
Yes, it is.
Well, check the figures.
Yeah, well, go look
Check
at
the
the
figures.
countries that traditionally
The
were
working population that will drive a car is declining.
Look at the global population.
Yeah, I mean, there are countries that have got negative growth rates.
Yeah, but look at the global population and look at the trend.
That's fine, but I
Just
mean,
check.
yeah, but are we talking third world countries or are we talking first world countries?
Well, it doesn't really matter because
Well, it does because those are the people that can afford to buy cars.
now, right? They're the ones that can afford to buy now. But 5 years down the line, the situation might be different.
What that? I still think that predominantly it's going to be the first world countries that are buying the cars.
I don't think so.
Okay.
China transfers about 10 million people from lower class to middle class each year. Like, all these people want to kind of drive cars and EVs, right? Think about the numbers. India, right, transfers about 5 or close to China, 10 million people from lower class into middle class. And so
We're getting something here, guys.
goes the letter.
Yes, okay. So if there's going to be a massive increase over the next 5 years of vehicles on the road, if you look at those densely populated countries,
Yeah.
they don't have the road infrastructure. There's just not enough space. They can't build it fast. As much as China can slap up a bridge and a highway in no time at all, other countries might struggle with the same thing. And I think that's going to lead to other things. People don't want to drive. They're going to be stuck on the roads. They might move more to public transport or whatever it is, or go back to bicycles. Who knows? But I think the road infrastructure is going to have a part to play here. all those electric vehicles need electric charging points. All that infrastructure needs to be put in. I think it doesn't happen overnight, and I think people are. It's not going to be a fast adopted thing, and we might see more growth as China exports all their EVs to African countries as cheap options. That's maybe where the growth in the industry would come from. Who knows?
I think Africa's
we're at an interesting time.
I think Africa is going to be the last one to jump on the EV trend. Like out of all the continents
Depends on the
combined.
incentive, though.
no,
Depends
like
on the incentives.
I think Africa is going to be the last one. I think the biggest adopters is going to come number 1 from Asia, number 2 maybe from North America and Europe, and then number 3 South America. Like
You haven't given us your opinion, Oleg. Are you ever going to go down the EV road?
Most likely.
His next car is going to be EV.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his whole house is already battery storage and
Yeah. Most likely. There's like
But he won't be doing long trips in that.
you never know.
Yeah,
No,
not
I
off
think
the
that
beaten
the
track.
range of
Not off the
of
beaten
EVs
track.
is getting better and better.
And let me remind you, last weekend we were talking about buying a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely not going to be EV.
Convert it.
Unless you want to buy the hybrid at 2 bar.
Is there a hybrid Land Cruiser?
Yeah, it's coming.
Coming.
It's coming, yeah.
Sure.
It's not a bad shout, though.
Yeah, but you know what the problem with hybrids is? Is that you only use the battery power when you're driving 60 k's an hour and less.
Yeah. So basically
But,
traffic.
yeah. And highway driving and all that, you running on the engine, on the
Yeah.
ICE engine. So
Yeah.
I don't
No,
think. I
100%
think hybrids
surely,
are.
'cause
I
it's
think
kinetic
hybrids
energy
are
you
like a bit
generate.
of a hospital pass when it comes to moving in the right direction.
But do you think, like, for example's sake, if a lot of cities are struggling with congestion and traffic, going hybrid route will decrease kind of
Hybrid working route, yes.
hybrid working route will decrease the amount of pollution.
No.
Like, for example's sake, if you have like millions of vehicles in traffic traveling 60 kilometers per hour less, and you're running it off
No.
the
No.
no, okay.
No. I don't think so. We've got 2 minutes left.
3 seconds.
Go, Leicester.
Okay, on this day, today is National Scrabble Day. If you're really bored and want to get it out and celebrate,
Excuse the pun.
was the first ride of the Pony Express, which was Pony Express is famous in West American West folklore and history. It didn't last that long.
Right.
I was quite intrigued to read that. The Telegraph, as much as they didn't have, and with the gold rush in California, basically they needed to get they needed to speed up how they communicated between East and West Coast. Pony Express was introduced where they could guarantee you could get a telegram from New York to Sacramento in 10 days. And there was all this infrastructure of ponies, riders, 10 days. The whole thing lasted. It was very expensive service. And the whole business went bankrupt in about 18 months, something like that.
Is it
Didn't last long at all.
because telegraph was invented? Or was
The
it
telegraph also came along as well, yes.
and it was a disruptive
Yeah.
technology.
It was. What else have we got? We've got world record.
1 minute. Less than 1 minute. Ding.
Today is the day that New Zealander Colin Bosher sheared 565 sheep in one day. Wow.
Who
Is
did
that a world
565 sheep.
record?
who did
That is a world record.
Shared.
Sheared.
Shared.
Was that in Oz or in New
And
Zealand?
on that bombshell. All right. Good stuff. Well done, guys.
Okay, yeah, well
You got
done.
another one out the door.
Yeah, no. Like this is like speed dating. Yeah.
Lester put on his proverbial Eminem hat and started.
Here we go. One time. Bye. That's crazy. I hate
need a solution, dude.
technology. Oh well. If you can find it, let me know what it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,